Hey guys, welcome back to Landscape Baller, where this week we are going to be designing this dry riverbed. It's a non-functional dry riverbed, but it's going to make this front yard look nicer. I should say that I've made other videos with this style of dry riverbed. If you want to check it out, I'm going to kind of put it over here on the corner. You guys can see that if you want to now or later. But I should say that the reason why I focus a lot in this style of dry riverbeds is because I happen to be in an area where it's considered a high desert, which also means is that we have to conserve water. So in this specific case, at one point, this happened to be an area of grass, turf, sod. And in this case, we removed it and designed this dry riverbed, and hence the explanation for this. As I mentioned earlier, this is not a functioning dry riverbed, so let's see what I added here. So once we remove all the grass, the design that I did was to make it just look nice with a few different materials to kind of make it pop. A few of those materials are going to be the following. Specifically, the border for the dry riverbed was the Speckled white river rock. That is 2 to 4 inches. In fact, actually it was a little bit bigger. It's actually more 4 to 6 inches, just to kind of make it a little bit bigger, make it pop. This is a white river rock. It has a bit of speckles, hence the name. So I put this on both sides, but only a little bit, maybe literally a border on them, maybe a couple of them, 2 to 3, kind of making a lines just to kind of divide it up a little bit. It makes it look even nicer. So I started with that part first, and then in the middle of that, I did put a 3/4 inch rock. There's many that you can put. The one that I chose for this kind was a granite. It's called the cactus granite in our area, also drennin. It's essentially a mixture of black and pink. You can always use maybe like a black granite, which is more just dark gray, or something else of your liking. We also used some black granite boulders, different kinds. In this case, I wanted to kind of contrast between the speckled white and this one, so had a little bit of the white and some of the darker boulders just to make it pop. We also use other stones. In this case, we use moss rock and also Siloam stones, just to kind of give it that sort of step look over here. And this happened to match really well with the front of the house, specifically the door. It just made it look even nicer. So I kind of started with that. The length of the dry riverbed, it was only about 20 or so feet, and in terms of how wide it was 3.5 to 4 feet wide in certain areas, just to make it look good. Now that we have all those things, I also added rock on the sides, which was also a river rock, but in this case was the multicolor, which has a few of the grays, a bit of the pink, some tans, a little different than the border style of rock that I used for this design. Other than that, we also use different kinds of shrubs for this area. Nothing too crazy, but a few just to give us a bit of color. We started using some of the globe spruces, just to give a bit of the evergreen look. We also did some low grow sumacs. We also did some of the Potentillas, some of the Goldstar Potentillas, and as well some different kinds of perennials, including but not limited to some of the Penstemons, just for a bit of the red ones in this specific case. We also use some salvias to give a bit of that sort of purple look, and a few different kinds. Now, in terms of perennials, there's different kinds that you can use, and we didn't want to put a ton of them because we know eventually they are going to grow and expand. Keep in mind that this was a small area of grass, so we didn't want to go too crazy because we know that over time it's going to grow and overtake this area. Other than that, we just kind of put some drip for everything else, and pretty much that is the design of this dry river bed. Of course, there's many things that you can put if you want to use this style. You could put grasses, something like a blue stem avena, maybe even a car foster if you want to. Of course, there are many other kinds, and the same goes for shrubs. So that is the design. What do you guys think? Let me know what your thoughts are, and don't forget our motto here, which is Dream Design Create. And please give us a like and subscribe to make more videos. And if you are working on your own design, let us know so we can check it out over on Instagram. Tag us there, and we also have stuff over on TikTok. Anyways, guys, this comes to the end of the video. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you next week. Bye bye.